Here we go. I'm at St. Thomas. Where am I? McCain, I think? McCain?
No, this is the Kinsella Auditorium, the brand new Kinsella Auditorium.
And you are?
Steve Murphy, last time I checked.
Yes.
Still.
And we're at St. Thomas. What are we doing here?
Leaders Roundtable coming up on our CTV News tonight. As you can see, the table is set. And looking forward to hearing what these party leaders have to say, really to the people of New Brunswick, more so than to me, but and also to each other.
Have you did have you done this kind of interview before?
Yeah. We actually did. We've done this format 5 or 6 times, including in the last election here in New Brunswick. And we think it works very well. It is not a debate in that nobody's standing behind a podium sort of lecturing anyone else. It is more of a discussion with the 3 leaders elbow to elbow, with me there to sort of direct the traffic, but to make sure that they're answering the questions.
Are you going to give them some Ritalin so they can focus?
Don't have any.
Don't have any.
Do you think they need any?
Yes, they need at least a Mopo, my God. Yeah. What issue are we going to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about really whatever issues come up. I've selected 3 very broad topics of discussion, which are promises, because elections have become about promises, the economy, which is a very important overarching issue, and then the issue of leadership, because after all, every election really is about who is going to be premier when it's over. So we'll do those 3 very general topics, but there's lots of room to move around, under those large umbrellas. So we'll see exactly where it goes.
Is the audience going to ask questions?
No, the audience is here to witness what's going on, obviously not to disrupt it, and we know that there might be some partisans here, and as long as they're well behaved, there'll be no problem. But we want this to be an opportunity for all of the people in New Brunswick, not just the people in the room, to get a real sense of what these parties are.
I got to ask you, Steve. I went boo CTV News. Jack McDougall is not allowed.
It's not that he's not allowed. It's that the Green Party and the PANB do not meet the criteria that we've established for this format.
Yeah,
and we've used this now in Nova Scotia and in New Brunswick previously, that the roundtable discussion is for parties that have elected or have recently elected members to the legislature, which is to say that within the past 2 election cycles, all of these parties have been represented in the legislature. If, for example, another party gets elected on Monday, then in the next roundtable they will have a seat. But at the moment, the only 3 parties that meet those criteria in New Brunswick are the Progressive Conservatives, the Liberals, and the New Democrats.
You expect Brian Mulroney here?
Brian Mulroney?
Do you expect a Brian Mulroney shot? You, sir, you could have made a difference.
I don't know. The dynamic is always hard to predict, particularly because in this format, as you can see, Charles, these are actually gentlemen sitting elbow to elbow. It's what you'd find at dinner, what you'd find, if we were out having a couple of beer somewhere tonight, where people are actually sitting and talking to each other. So as opposed to being behind the lecterns and lecturing each other, I think that these 3 gentlemen have to talk to each other, and that is quite able to produce a different outcome.
And one more thing, you, sir, you do not discriminate. My God, did you ever give a tough lecture to every candidate? Well,
look, I think that election time is the time to be even more intense and more pointed in questioning people who want to lead the province. Look, when a man is Premier of New Brunswick or a woman is Premier of New Brunswick, there's a certain amount of dignity and responsibility that comes with the office. And I think it's always important to respect people. But having said that, when you offer yourself for the highest office in the province, I think you have to be prepared, ready, willing, and able to answer pointed questions and to particularly defend any contradictory positions that have come up, and certainly to be able to defend all of your positions, particularly when it comes to how you're going to pay for things. So yeah, I agree that maybe during the campaign I'm a little more intense, but I try to be equally intense with them all.
Yes, you do not discriminate. And by the way, my apology, looks like you're not going to interview Premier McDougall Tuesday morning.
I understand he's promised you the first interview if he wins. No, look, I had a great discussion on television with Jack McDougall, whom I've known for many years, and certainly I think that Jack is doing his job, and I hope he understands that we're doing ours.
And you're doing fine work, Steve.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Same here.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.